My mom was like, stop, you go snap your neck. I was really trying to figure myself out, to be honest. Ish, growing up, I never really, let me be honest, I never really knew what I wanted to be. I did a lot of things growing up. I had a lot of fun, I played a lot, I did a lot of sports. But I remember probably start of high school, I wanted to be a marine biologist. Surprise, surprise, Durban, you know, you got the ocean right there. At some stage, that later changed to being a doctor, because my mom was a nurse. So I guess she wanted me to be, you know, follow in her footsteps, so to speak. But in terms of like music and like the creative field, it was only like varsity. So I went to varsity for like a year and a half and I hated it. And my brother, who initially studied, mechanical engineering, also dropped out in his second year and he started graphic design. And I guess I got exposed to design via him and Macs or Apple in those days. Just like a switch went on in my head and I was like, I don't want to be a doctor, I don't want to be a marine biologist, I don't want to be like any of these other things that I thought I wanted to do. And I went to Vega, which is like the design school of South Africa. And yeah, I thought I was going to be a designer. Two things. One is sports. I consider myself an athlete. I run a lot, I play a lot of football. I really enjoy that. And I think that's probably because of my childhood. I played every single sport that my mother could afford to buy gear for. So from like cricket, basketball, I did swimming a little bit, you know, black kids, didn't go far, but tried water polo, tried rugby. My mom was like, stop, you go snap your neck. So that didn't go far either, but I really enjoy sports. So I run a lot and I play a lot of football. The other thing I do enjoy is collecting stuff. So I collect like magazines, I collect vinyl toys. I've been doing that since 2008. I collect sneakers, yeah. Definitely, I've changed a lot. I think the biggest change or most notable change is within. So it's like how well I've gotten to know myself. I've always been preoccupied or obsessed with what's going on in the world, in my immediate surroundings, in the environment, in the country. And I think a lot of what was going on at the time, like when BoyznBucks was at its peak, I wasn't really looking in, I was always looking outward. So with Spova Gang, but I think right now my biggest change or the biggest difference is how well I've gotten to know myself. And that was through the process of creating the project and making music with the intent to create a project and to put it out. I think in the 2 years that I wasn't intentionally making music and putting out my own music, even though I was featured on other tracks, I was really trying to figure myself out, to be honest. What do I want to do with my life and my art, my craft. That's why with the music, BoyznBucks just got flung into the spotlight. We found ourselves there in the center of the storm, in the eye of the storm, and I was like, whoa, what's going on? Because I never, at that stage, I hadn't decided that this is what I wanted to do, because I'd been doing so many things over the years. And I had always considered myself a behind the scenes, background sort of person. If you know me, I'm a really shy person, really quiet person. So being flung into the spotlight like that, yeah, and then I guess also what comes with the music business and industry is a lot if you're not prepared for it, you know? And I think it's important to know yourself so you don't get lost in that. A lot of people can get lost in the lifestyle, you can get lost in the sauce, so to speak. Definitely I'd say the visual arts, creative direction, being an art director is something that I find myself doing a lot of the time, and it's something I consider myself to be good at. So I think I'm in the process of mastering that, and definitely my music. But that all stems from self-mastery. I wouldn't be able to master those things if I wasn't at the point that I'm at now, which is mastering myself. Yeah. So, I mean, I don't want to try and sound deep or anything, but Gangular is literally taken from Spova Gang, which in itself is still BoyznBucks. So Gangular is like part of a whole, or part one from many, and that's who I am. Like, if there was no BoyznBucks or Spova Gang, there would be no me, there would be no Gangular, essentially. Yeah, the process of making this EP, but it was very painful for me because it took so much out of me. Like, I wasn't prepared for it, and I never set out to be like, yo, I'm making this project, it's gonna be called Gangular. It just happened. I've been trying to make music. I found myself to be, particularly 2018, many life challenges and whatnot. I found myself to be operating from a base of chaos and uncertainty. And I was just like, you know what, I'm doing so many different things and I don't know what's going on. Let me apply myself really well, consistently, on one thing. So that was the intent. Let's do one thing and let's do it well. I mean, the 2-year hiatus thing definitely worked in my favor. So I think a lot of people who I guess are fans had been saying, yo man, where's the music? Yo, we've been waiting forever. Yo, we've been waiting forever. So when I eventually put it out, I think it kind of satisfied their appetite. And then in the process, I gained a lot of new fans or ears or listeners. But I mean, I can't toot my own horn here, but I think it's definitely been well received. There's been a lot of positivity and a lot of warmth that I've received. Lots of love that I've received, personal DMs, people saying super personal stuff yo, keep doing it. Yo, I always believed in you. And I'm just like, okay. I mean, I must be honest, in my mind, we were never a boy band or a group. We were never Squatter Camp or Wu-Tang, but at the same time we were. So BoyznBucks was never really about the music thing. I think that's where things kind of switched up because of the members that were involved. Few sprung to superstardom and prominence from the music thing, when a lot of their energy and inspiration and influence came from other parts. So sneaker culture in South Africa, I think if it wasn't for the involvement as well of BoyznBucks, amongst many other factors, wouldn't necessarily be where it is today. I think from a style perspective, I don't think anybody, you could take any of the members on an individual basis, I don't think anybody has ever pushed for style on that level, on a music level, on a mainstream level. So we were just a group of friends doing many different things, and we had this energy about us. Tough question. I think it's definitely at a much better place. It's in a good place, Southern African or I mean, I can speak mostly for South African hip hop. It's at a good space in the sense that it's something that kids who aspire to be musicians can really do for a living. You know, they can really sustain themselves. They can really chase their dreams, and that can really become a reality. To everybody that was involved in creating this project, I really want to say a big thank you. From the producers, Rasku / Rada, Trilzo, To even the people, you know, who lent their voices and their sounds to this. Thank you so much. Like Tela Wayega, Matando, to Easy, to FLO and Stilo Makolite, and most especially, you know, the leaders of the new cool, being Windows 2000 and 45 Degrees, better known as Didi and Dodo. Thank you so much for the love and the energy that you gave to this project, and everybody that's listened to it, that's shared it. Thank you so much. Like, the love is unreal, and I think it's like, if anything, that energy and like that reception is gonna do a lot, not just for my music career or for my music, but for my life as a whole. So from me to everybody that's listened, everybody that's a fan and that's, you know, shared it, thank you so much.